Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Ashok, Project 3, Group 2. We did a social collaborative platform called Study Genie where people can share their notes. So this particular application has a lot of features, so I would like to explain that one by one. So I'm just starting from the registration as a normal user would start. So let us create a user now so that we'll see how for a new user it would look. So I'm creating someone called user 3 and with I use first name user, last name user3 at gmail.com, password being say 123 123. So these are some of the tags which the current system has. These tags are actually the recommendations which the system suggests as the highly trending tags currently. So the user can actually start with these tags if you would like to start learning about these nodes. So I'm clicking on few tags so the user can start with these tags. So I'm registering. So once the registration is done, now let's try to log in with 123. Then yeah, I'm logging in. Then you could see that the user 3 is logged in and the system shows some of the images which has, let's say, web development, and it has like it will show some images which are trending courses now. So every course can have its own tags, and every tags the student can go and read a post or notes relevant to that. So these are some features which we added, like messages, your favorite, trending, and the recommendations which the user can go and look into. And this is some visualization which I'll explain in some time. So we'll just go to the user tab now so that we can go into a better visualization of what's happening here. Here you can see that the user 3 is logged in, and the first name, last name, every other information of the user has been shown. And here we try to create a target for a user. So the user has selected object, enqueue, Python, JSON arrays in the start while registering. So we are asking that the student should at least finish 40 notes so that he or she can be well equipped in the particular tags which they are studying. So this kind of creates a motivation for the students so that they can go and study multiple notes of particular things. So this kind of creates an interactive environment where they can go and read multiple notes. So we also have a chat feature, but since I've just created this user, now I don't have like a lot of data. So I would like to go back and log in with my ID where I actually created a lot of data. As we can see that this is an existing user. So we have some data here. So let's just go into the users tab where we can see some of the information. If you can see that the user is currently active and some basic information of the user. And also this shows different information for the user depending upon the number of notes the user has read. Here you can see that the user, for example, the list tag, he still need to have 15 notes to go, and memory you can see 55 notes to go, enqueue 7 notes to go. So this indication is depending upon the expertise of the user. Going to the dashboard, these things are, since I've explained, now I'll just explain this particular graph and the tag cloud here. So this tag cloud is actually is a recommendation for the user depending upon the tags which the user is giving here. So since the user has chosen certain relevant tags in the user which we saw earlier, object, enqueue, dequeue, array are being shown for him, and these are currently being trending topics for which there are a lot of nodes exist. And this is the common social platform which actually kind of increases the social collaboration among users. So there are like multiple users, for example, Ashok and who's myself, how much I've created. And Vaibhav is like my colleague for this project who actually created few notes for this particular coursework, CSE 107. And Vaibhav again created 102, he created like 19 notes. So there are different set of nodes which this graph connects. So this kind of creates a bidirectional mapping between a node to a user for multiple nodes. So this is what the visualization here for. And there is a feature here which is the sticky note. A user can add a note, adding a sticky note for himself, for example, a kind of a reminder. Then that sticky note would be added and it would always be existing. You can refresh this to check if it's existing there, and you can see that it exists. So it's a sticky note here, and we have a search option where we can actually search for the posts, and we have a trending feature and also notes which is created by the particular user. I can click on my notes, which is the notes which I created, for example created by Ashok. It shows, and the tags which I've created for list, memory, all this is being shown. And similarly I can go and choose trending topics, which is same thing. Let's say that list and memory which I've created, for which there is a relevant tag which is having a note that is being shown as a recommendation for me, and that is also a trending topic here. So which I've already read, so this is the indicator of marking it red. So here if you can see that these two notes I have not read, so I have not marked it. I can actually mark a particular note red. Now I'm just going through this particular note. Let's say I've gone through this note and then I'm marking it red. Then this particular tags which I have in my pool, those tags, the count would be increased. So which actually gives me a target that, okay, I'm becoming a expert in this particular tags by reading the topics which by through the notes. So similarly I can do this by surfing through multiple notes, and we would also have a chat room here where we can actually chat between user. So this is the user has who I'm logged into. Now I'm going to create another chat room virtually so that I can explain this now, since I don't have a multiple user interface here. Let's say I'm creating a chat room for Pranav. Then it shows me Ashok, who's online in the previous tab. So, and here you can see that Pranav is coming. So I just need to click on Pranav and then start chatting with Pranav. Hi Pranav, how are you? So here you can see that it shows me the message and hey, I'm doing good. So the users can do share the notes here, or they can chat between each other. So this kind of helps in collaborative learning between users. Now we also have another feature which is actually the user groups. So I'm going back to create one node so that it kind of we will know how to create a particular node. So we have clicked on create node. Now I'm going to choose a particular coursework. Let's say I'm choosing Java. Then I can choose, let's say, oops. Then in oops we can see that there are certain tags which is being recommended. These tags are the popular tags now currently in oops, where the nodes are created for, and there is a lot of nodes which is created for these particular tags, so that the user can tag these particular tags in the node which the user is creating. So I'm gonna say first node created for oops. Hi, this is a node. Then the person can say tag class, say class and object. I can tag object. Now I can say create node. I've created the node. Then if you can see that the world with this particular cloud got changed again depending upon the node creation, and again this particular number has been updated. Now since I've created a node for myself, I actually can the first node created for oops, and I have these two tags created by me. So this is the node, and actually I need to have more of upwards and downwards so that this particular thing can come up, and since this is having a very least download, this particular thing is down, way ahead down. So I have to uh, attain upwards and downwards so that this particular things can come up. Let's say I'm going to trending and then there's an upvote here, so it comes up. So I can even upvote on particular nodes. I can say I'm upvoting this particular node, so depending upon that this would be sorted, and this is particularly used for trending in the background. So through this we have achieved a recommendation model which uses also the system level recommendation, although also some manual feature engineering have been done in the background, which is a hybrid recommender system. Also, we have created these particular tags of which actually creates kind of a learning and interactive environment for a student. So it creates a target and a goal for a student, which is experimented with the open student model. So this feature is particularly where we are experimenting the open student model. We are very sure that if we increase more data and we have more students come and use this particular system, we can accumulate a lot more data and do a lot more analysis on the top. And the chat feature is particularly very useful for students to come and chat and share the data. And also we are looking forward to do a group chat room where they can directly share the notes in here in the chat itself, which kind of makes it much more easier, and user groups obviously helps in understanding what groups, and that we also need to show the users of this particular group which we are going to work on.